Hi, I'm Sierra, and welcome to Elevate Your Heart Rate. So this sequence is designed in a beginner, intermediate, and slightly advanced that you can combine either all together or one by one, depending at where you are in your practice. It's designed to get your heart rate up, to get your blood flowing, and help you feel more limber throughout your day. You can do this anytime, any place. Let's start with our beginner sequence. We're going to start by stepping to the top of our mat, toes together, standing in Tadasana. Bring your palms by your side. Roll your shoulders down and back, and start to shift the weight slightly back into the heels, feeling the tops of your feet press down. Inhale, bring your arms up, gazing to the thumb, and exhale, start to fold forward, taking your hands to heart center and keeping a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, lifting halfway up, straighten out the legs, straighten out the arms, and use your shins to press into your hands and your hands to press into your shins. Inhaling to bring the weight into your toes and exhale to fold. Let your hands come onto the mat and step back onto all fours. Inhale, find an arched back, gazing to the ceiling, lifting the tip of your nose. Exhale, round inwards, squeezing the hips and ribs together. Finding a neutral spine, curl your toes under and step back into downward dog. Taking 3 to 5 breaths here. Relax your head, ground your heels, lift your hips, and spread your hands wide. Coming back down to all fours. Inhale, arch your spine into cow. And exhale, cat. Take your right foot to the top, in between your hands, reaching your arms all the way up. Option to keep your knee on the ground, or you can curl your toe and lifting up into a high lunge, pulling the thumbs back and the shoulders down. Take one full breath. And release, letting your knee find the mat and your hands find the ground. Step back into all fours. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, round. Finding a neutral spine. Take your other foot, step it in between the hands. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Curl your toes. Again, option to lift your knee, coming into a high lunge. Breathe in to extend through the fingers. Pull your thumbs back and your shoulders down. Let your knee find the ground. Hands ground as well. And step back into all fours. One final round of our cat-cow. And coming into downward dog. Walk your feet halfway up the mat and your hands halfway back. Let your knees bend here again, keeping our chest and torso really heavy and hinging at the hips. As we shift the weight into our heels and press into our feet, start to unroll one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up. Inhale your hands overhead, gaze to the thumb. Exhale, heart center. So that was our beginner series. You can do that 5 or 10 times every morning to help get your heart rate flowing and to help create more mobility and strength in the body. We'll go through that one more time. Stepping to the top of your mat, toes together, heels apart. Bring your hands by your side. Inhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Shifting the weight into your heels, ground down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up and look towards the thumb. Exhaling, fold forward, bringing your hands to heart center and bending your knees. Let your hands come all the way down to the ground and release your head. Inhale, straightening out the legs, straightening out your arms, pressing your shins to your hands and your hands to your shins. Inhale, reach forward and bring the weight into your toes. Exhale to bring your hands down to the ground and step back into all fours. Arch your back as you inhale and look up. Exhale as you round. Curl your toes under and find downward dog. Holding as long as you like here, pedaling out your feet. Ground into your heels, lift your hips, and spread your palms wide. Coming back down to all fours. Inhale to cow, arching your spine and looking up. Exhale, cat. Finding a neutral spine, take your right foot, place it in between your hands. Inhale, reach your arms up and look towards the fingertips. Option to curl your toes, lifting all the way up into a low lunge. Inhale to reach through the hands. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Drop your knee back down to the ground, placing your hands on either side of your foot. Come onto all fours. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, round. Finding a neutral spine, taking your other foot, step your left foot to the top, bringing your hands up overhead. Look to your hands, curl your back toe under. Inhale, lifting up, shoulders down and back. Let your knee find the mat. Bring your hands down to either side of your foot and step back into all fours. Finding a final round of your cat-cow. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, round. Taking time to move with your breath. Find a neutral spine, curl your toes under, and come into downward dog. Gently bending your knees, lift the sit bones high, press into your heels, spread your fingers wide. Take as long as you like here, walking out your heels or swaying your hips. Walk your feet halfway up. Walk your hands halfway back. Bending your knees, drop your rib cage onto your thighs and let your head hang heavy. Shift the weight into your heels, pressing into your feet, unroll one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way up to stand, follow the motion through, inhaling our hands overhead. Exhale to heart center. Our intermediate sun salutation looks very similar, but with a little bit more movement and a little faster. We're going to go through this 2 times. Feel free to add on to the beginner sequence or repeat the beginner. Coming to Tadasana, step to the top of your mat, toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, roll your shoulders down and back, shifting the weight into your heels and grounding down through the tops of your feet. Inhale your arms up, look towards the thumb. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your hands through heart center, bending the knees, hands to the ground. Inhale, straighten everything out, bringing your hands to your shins and your shins to your hands. Bring the weight into your toes as you inhale and reach forward. Exhale to fold. Take your left foot and step it to the back of your mat, followed by your right. Coming into a plank. Option to drop your knees to the ground, pointing your toes back, or keeping the knees lifted. We're going to come to Chaturanga. Keep your gaze forward to make sure that your shoulders don't round and that your scapula is pinched together. Inhale, reach up. Coming into upward dog, uncurling the toes, rolling your shoulders down and back, and feeling as though we're pulling our hands towards our hips. Lift the heart up and gaze to the ceiling. As we exhale, shift your gaze down, lifting the hips, pinching the ribs and hips together. Start to roll over the tops of your toes into downward dog. Holding 3 to 5 breaths. Feel free to walk your feet out. Allow your hips to sway, finding movement and finding what feels good inside the body. Looking to the top of our mat, we're going to take our left foot and step it in between the hands. Exhale. Inhale, take your right foot, step it in between the hands. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, come all the way up with a flat back, arms out to the side. Exhale, heart center. Flowing through that one more time, this time with our right leg. Inhale, arms up, gazing to the thumbs and fingers. Exhale, fold forward. Keeping the knees a little bit more straight now that the body is warm. Inhaling to a flat back, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Bringing the weight into your toes, reach your nose and forehead outward. Exhale to fold. Taking your right foot, step it to the back of your mat, followed by the left. Option to drop the knees, or following our same chaturanga sequence, bend at the elbows, bring your gaze forward. Inhale, lifting into upward dog, uncurl the toes. Finding traction in our hands, pulling them towards our hips, open your heart, lifting your nose towards the ceiling. Exhale, shift your gaze down, lifting the hips, contracting the ribs and hips together, roll over your toes. Holding downward dog for 3 to 5 breaths. As your poses become more warm and fluid, finding stillness in the body and movement in the breath is what's going to help you go much deeper in each and every asana. Taking our right foot, step it in between the hands, and exhale. Inhale the left foot to the top. Exhale, fold. Lifting your gaze, finding a flat back, inhale all the way up to stand. And exhale, heart center. Our more advanced warm-up is for those that have a really strong core and you're able to step your foot through to the top of your mat with ease so that you have enough strength in your core and flexibility in your hips. In your chaturanga, if you're still practicing with your knees on the mat and your hips slightly higher, then you're not able to do advanced quite yet. Keep practicing with your knees down and just pushing up and down until you build strength in your chest and core. When your chaturanga is able to fully lower with your elbows at the side and gaze forward, you're able to come into the more advanced series of sun salutations. Now I'm going to take you through our advanced sun salutation warm-up. Stepping to the top of your mat with your toes together, hands by your side. Shift the weight into your heels. Inhale, roll your shoulders down and back, and press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up and gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your hands to either side of your feet. Bow your forehead towards your knees. Inhale, lift halfway up, fingertips connecting with the ground, lengthening through your neck. Exhale, plant your hands on the ground and jump back into your plank to chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up, roll over the toes, pulling your hands towards your hips, shoulders down and back. Pressing into the tops of your feet, start to lift your hips up as we roll over the toes into downward dog. Inhale, take your right leg up, keeping the hips squared, keeping the shoulders squared, and pointing your toe back. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest and round forward until the knee and nose touch. Step your foot in between your hands. Drop the back heel. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, sinking lower into the hips. Reach up through the fingertips, squeezing the biceps on either side of your ear. Inhale, finding one last breath to create space. Exhale, coming back down to the ground. Knee comes to nose. Inhaling all the way back into your three-legged dog. Exhale to down dog. Realigning the body, grounding the heels, grounding the hands. Inhale, take your left leg up. Point your toes. Hips stay squared, shoulders stay squared. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, nose and knee touch. Step your foot in between the hands. Drop the back heel, coming into warrior one. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, sinking lower into your hips. Taking one more breath to get big in the body. Exhale, bringing your hands back down to the ground. Scoop your knee up, bringing it back towards the nose. Inhale to your three-legged dog. Exhale to down dog. Looking to the top of your mat, lift your heels high, bend your knees deep, taking a big breath in. Exhale, hop, finding a flat back, and fold. Inhale your arms out to the side as we reverse swan dive up. Exhale, heart center. Let's do that one more time. Bringing our toes together, step to the top of your mat. Hands by your side. Roll your shoulders down and back and shift the weight into your heels. Ground down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, bring your arms up. Look towards the thumb. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the legs straight, hands on either side of your feet. Forehead towards the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, keeping your fingertips reaching down, lengthen through the neck and chin. Exhale, plant your hands, jumping back into your plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Uncurl your toes, rolling your shoulders down and back, bringing your hands towards the hips and look up. Exhale, lifting your hips, press into the tops of your feet, rolling over into downward dog. Taking your right foot up, point your toes, hips stay squared, shoulders stay squared. Exhale, knee curls into the nose, bringing the nose to touch. Step your foot through to the top of your mat. Drop your heel, coming all the way up into warrior one. Inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhale, sink lower into your front hip. Finding one more breath to make the body big, and exhale, bring it back down to the ground. Knee comes back into the chest. Inhaling all the way up into your three-legged dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, take your left leg up. Point your toes, keeping your left hip heavy and your shoulders squared. Exhale, coil the knee into your chest, bringing your nose and knee to touch. Step through to the top of your mat, drop the back heel, inhale to warrior one. Let your hips get heavy, reach through the fingertips. Finding one more breath to get really big, and exhale down to the ground. Bringing your knee back in towards the chest, coil and hold. Inhale to three-legged dog, and exhale, down dog. Looking to the top of your mat, lift your heels high, bend your knees, taking a big breath in. Exhale to jump to the top of your mat. Fold forward. Bring your arms out to the side, reverse swan dive up. And exhale to heart center. Good job, you made it, and you're doing great. Remember, this is your own self-practice, so if something doesn't feel comfortable or you don't feel ready, just keep doing what you're doing until you're ready for the next stage of the video. You can always go back and rewind, or if you're feeling confident, follow me all the way through. This program is designed to build one on top of the other. We're building your own library because this is your own self-practice. Join me in our next video as we start to build more strength and mobility and move into a more dynamic practice.